Keir Starmer, I think you're a fucking wanker.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Dino Bain is the channel. 29,500 subscribers. Mentioned it before. Good channel. I enjoy it. Nepal is burning is the name of the video. The reason I've used Dino's video here is he's got a good little speech here with a member of the youth of Nepal who made a rousing speech 6 months ago, and 6 months later, Nepal is burning. So it's kind of like, without hearing the speech of the young lad, you can't see why it's maybe gone this way as well, to the point that Nepal is burning. So apparently, politicians have been beaten and all sorts. To be honest, there's been an uprising of a proper uprising. That's the thing. It's in Britain, yeah, there is no revolutions. They're kind of all controlled because that's just the way of it. Like, it's like all these people now thinking, oh, we're going to vote for reform. Reform are very much just part of the game. You know what I mean? It's Farage and for reform are just part of the game. You vote for them. You don't vote for change. Everything will remain the same. And you'll have been fucking lied to again. Whereas I think the Nepal people have just get pissed off with it now. And then, unfortunately, I've seen this around the world over my lifetime. And this is what a proper revolution looks like, to be honest. It's what a proper revolution looks like when the streets are running wild with people. The army have stood down and went with the people, and the people have started to burn down the important parliament buildings. You name it. That's the signs of a real revolution. Unfortunately, again, I mentioned the other day a guy at Speaker's Corner. I think he was speaking to you, Anthony, and to young Bob. And they asked about how to fix all this politically, I think was sort of the question. And the answer the guy gave was the correct answer, especially in Britain. There's no fixing any of this with politics. You will be hoodwinked, lied to, and then eventually just end up voting for another one of these elitists. Because the British people are stupid, to be honest, and don't realise we're trapped in a game here. We're trapped in a game. And there's very, very few ways out of it, to be honest, because everybody's sold us down the river and joined clubs like the Fabian Society. And yeah, that's the game here. We're working to the goals of things like the Fabian Society, not democracy. So yeah, you'll always get hoodwinked here, I believe. Even in America, like Trump could just be hoodwinking people. Farage is probably the same. I mean, well, these people are set up long ago to hoodwink you. That's how it works. So to me, this looks like a proper revolution where politicians are getting beaten, things are burning, and change might come. But this is a proper revolution. If you don't see the likes of this, to be honest, in my eyes, there is no revolution. Um, you'll just be hoodwinked by another politician that's a lying bastard that ultimately works for the elites, and they'll just take you the same way, and you just keep hoodwinking you, and that's what keeps happening in Britain and America and all these sort of developed countries. And when you see these revolutions of these kinds, it usually is in the third world countries where eventually because corruption's rife over there, but eventually they see it and do something about it, whereas we just look on at the corruption as it continues on and gets worse and worse and worse, and we don't do anything about it. We don't. Even Tommy Robinson's thing at the weekend, standing in the streets peacefully, doesn't do anything. Unfortunately, doesn't do anything. Standing in the streets peacefully. What the Nepalese people are doing here, burning shit to the ground and beating politicians, that's a revolution. So let's have a listen to this.
Hey guys, so apparently Macron is not gone. I made a slight mistake on that one. It's the Prime Minister that's gone. Give it time. I'm sure he'll be gone eventually.
Come on, Dino, you fucked that up. No, Macron's still there. I don't know if you can remove Macron. I'm not quite sure of his position, and he's higher up, isn't he? You know what I mean? Not sure how you would get rid of Macron.
He's vowed that he'll never leave the position, and apparently the French don't have anything in their constitution to get rid of him. Bit of a bummer. Sorry about that, guys. It's why I don't really like reporting on live stuff. But here I am, doing it again. There's something happening in Nepal, right? You might not have heard of this. And it's 6 months after this Chad made this speech.
Today I stand here with the dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. Rise and shines, futures of this upcoming imperial empire. I, Avishkar Raut, the head boy of this everlasting imperial.
It reminds me a bit of Hitler. Sorry to pause it. It reminds me a bit of Hitler, but in English, like the kind of his manner, the way he's sort of saying all these things. This reminds me of Hitler.
Imperial Institute, Holy Well English Secondary School welcomes you with open arms to our 24th annual program. I put myself before you this moment to shed light within your consciousness by piercing the dark nimbus that circles above you. I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures.
Yeah, and it's very much going the same way here. I mean, this is the difference. This is a member of the youth who completely knows what the fuck's going on here, and it's all going to shit, and we've all been done in by the sounds of it. But you get to England here, and no one's got a fucking clue what's going on, even when they're fucking 50-year-old. You know what I mean? So fair play to the fucking Nepalese people. Like, again, if you want the revolution, you've got to fight for a revolution. That's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? Like, a revolution doesn't come because everybody decides, no, let's die, we're sick of this. You know what I mean? This is a revolution is burning the shit out of the Parliament buildings, beating the fucking politicians down, and the army's fucked the country off. That's a revolution. Like, honestly, I've seen revolutions happen before in the past, in other countries. And this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like what anything that ever happens in England. Again, even this weekend and Tommy the Robinson's September the 13th London extravaganza. Standing in the street in London, doesn't matter if you get 10 million people there, it won't do anything because the powers that be don't give a fuck. Like, they don't give a fuck, and ultimately the only way that they will listen is it's like these fuckers. The only thing they listen to is fucking violence and burning the shit out of the place till they actually realise that the people have had enough. Do you know what I mean? They think, we can just lie to these people and lie to them and lie to them and it'll be all right. You know what I mean? They won't do anything. And in England, that's pretty right, to be honest. You watch it all the time. They'll lie to us and lie to us and lie to us and lie to us, and nothing ever happens, and we don't do anything. Look what Keir Starmer's done in a year, and nobody's bothered. Like, half the country aren't even bothered. So, yeah, this is what a real revolution looks like, and what a rousing speech from this young lad.
You!
Guy's fucking cooking, isn't he? He is cooking.
Rise! We are the torch bearers of change. If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not build this nation, who will? We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice and bring prosperity.
Yeah, come on, son. Come on. You can do it.
Our ancestors shed their blood to give us this nation. We cannot sell it. We cannot lose it. We are the fire. We will burn every despair away. Now we must decide. Will we drown in the darkness of despair or rise as the sun of hope? Will we change the fate of this nation, or will we let it remain in shackles? King Birendra once said, "Even if I die, shall my country live on?" All the youths Carry these words in your heart and engrave a monument of change in the course of history. Nepal is ours, and its future is in our hands. Jai Yuva! Jai Nepal!
Now that is what it means to love your fucking country. And that is the passion that you find when it is threatened. Now I'll get onto that later, but just wanted to put that little dig in there now, because this is what happened. He wasn't fucking around. Nepal is burning. They've burned down the parliament. So they burned down the Houses of Parliament, or the parliament, or whatever they call it, because they tried to block the internet. They tried to take a fundamental right away from their people. And we all know why they're doing it. Probably backed by the CCP to do it, because they don't want this. They don't want people being proud of their country. They don't want the youth rising. They don't want people asking for the fundamental rights that they deserve as citizens of that country. No, they want them to shut the fuck up, don't they? Well, they're not. They're burning the shit down, and they're not stopping. End of communism.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this, as I've said multiple times in this video, this is a revolution. This is what a revolution looks like. It's not anything that's ever happened in England in our lifetimes, or even in God knows how long, because it's always controlled to see the revolution coming and control it. And ultimately, again, I don't promote violence, but unfortunately, violence is kind of the only way that a revolution really happens. I've seen it in multiple countries, and again, you've never seen a revolution in a Western country, for me anyway. It's always bullshit and controlled, and unless things are burning and what you're witnessing here, to be honest, then it's not a revolution, it's just bullshit. So unfortunately, this is like what needs to happen for a revolution. Yeah, the powers that be will just keep lying to you in the belief that you won't do anything about it until people do something about it, and then it's all a different kettle of fish.
In Nepal. Oh, the Labour Party must be shitting themselves.
Stop that.
All of the politicians have fleed to the airport, shit themselves. They need to get out. They need to get out because they pushed the people too far. And the people, they're not happy. They're not happy. They warned you. They warned you that they fucking warned you that they were going to burn it down. Politicians are being beaten in the streets like dogs. Labour, Labour, Labour. I hope all of the politicians in the United Kingdom are watching what's happening here. This policy, I'll get to this guy in a sec. I don't want to get a music copyright strike. This is the finance minister. He wasn't able to get to the helicopter in time. Oh well, never mind. We're going to strip you naked and make you fucking parade through the river while everyone throws shit at you and jeers at you because you're a dirty, dirty shit. Now I don't know if he's done anything wrong. He might have been caught up as an innocent. I just doubt it. I doubt it. Here is the Prime Minister's house being burnt. The level of hatred that I think modern politicians have garnered from their nasty, sneaky shit being joined up with the WEF and all the other institutions that are currently corrupting the countries that they're meant to be serving. I'm not surprised that I'm seeing this. The former Prime Minister himself beaten in the streets by protesters.
Do you see what I'm saying by this is a real revolution? The Houses of Parliament are burning. The politicians are being beaten in the streets. The army's turned against the government and is with the people. This is a real revolution and what a real revolution looks like. And yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of the measures that maybe need to be done to actually enforce a revolution or enforce change, because the powers that be, and again, there are people above the politicians, as we know, be in the background, and all these groups that are in the Fabian societies and all these sort of things. Um, yeah, honestly, I can't stress how this is what a revolution looks like. And again, anything that's happening in England now, people thinking of maybe voting for reform at the next election, which is 3 years away. You're all fucked. To be honest, you're all fucked. If that's the way you think you're going to change the course of the Great Britain and the United Kingdom, um, is by voting reforming and Nigel Farage in 3 years, then you're all fucked. To be honest, you're all absolutely fucked. A lot will happen in 3 years, and by the time Farage gets in, he'll just turn coat and fucking carry on doing what's been going on the whole time, in my opinion. So there is no change in sight in Britain, in my opinion. There's no change coming through change of politicians or anything at all. Everything will carry on. Unfortunately, a revolution takes this. It takes a lot of violence and anger and shit to be on fire and politicians to be beaten. Before it looks anywhere near like a real revolution, you know what I mean? I think everybody kind of knows what I'm saying. That this might enact a change of some form, whereas anything that's been happening in Britain, standing outside migrant hotels, they don't give a fuck. You might have noticed. It's a bit like the Palestine protests every weekend for 2 years. The government doesn't give a fuck. Israel doesn't give a fuck. Our government doesn't give a fuck. And they'll continue doing what they're doing. In fact, Israel blew the shit out of fucking a few Hamas people yesterday, I think it was. That's how much Israel give a fuck. So, yeah, standing in the streets, it doesn't bother the elite. Like, they just sit in their ivory towers and look down on you, stood in the streets, and then send the police out to beat the fuck out of you, which is more peasants. So they don't give two single fucks if you stand in the streets and fight with the police. They really don't. And the politicians don't really either, because you're not fighting with the politicians. You're fighting with more peasants, the police, yet again, and they'll take all the shit and the beatings, and we'll pay them to do it. Fair dues, all right? So, again, all this, what's currently happening in Britain, although it's a start and it's a show of people wanting change, nothing will come of it. Nothing will come of standing in the streets and doing nothing. Unfortunately, that's just not how revolutions take place. And ultimately, if you think you're going to vote your way out of this, you'll just vote your way deeper into it, because you live in a very complicated game that most people can't even see and was set up for you long ago. And Nigel Farage could be a long-term plant, and you're talking over 20 years. It's a very long-term plant, but ultimately, vote Farage in, nothing will change. Because voting and being nice about all this doesn't work. Just doesn't work, because the politicians and the more primarily the elites, they don't give a fuck if you stand in the streets. So ultimately, if Britain just thinks they're going to stand in the street and change is going to happen, unfortunately, you're wrong, because that's not the way of things in general in the world. It's not how change comes about. So you've got to scare these people into not being corrupt anymore. Like these politicians here in Nepal will maybe think twice about being corrupt. Now his house is on fire and he's being beaten down the street. But other than that, they'll just fucking keep lying to you. You know what I mean? That's what they do, and they do it well, and they've done it your whole life, and they're not going to change track now, to be honest.
And if you notice, guys, the army is on the side of the people. That is the only way a politician, especially a bunch of corrupt ones, can even hope to hang on onto power. As soon as the army sides with the people, they're fucked. Again, Labour Party, do you really feel secure right now? I'm just wondering.
Kind of, yes, because again, the British people believe that standing there and in force will do something, when it ultimately won't. It ultimately won't, and there's been plenty of protests for God knows how long, and the government's labelled everyone right wing and doesn't give a fuck. So unfortunately, for me, it's going to take this kind of thing for a revolution. And if you don't have the numbers, and I mean everyone, like in Nepal there, then you will fail. because eventually they will quell you if you haven't got the numbers. Um, you can't put everybody in jail. That's the beauty of that, if you know what I mean. But small pockets, you can pick them off. You can pick off small pockets systematically. But if it's everybody, just you can't do anything about it. So again, I maintain this is what a real revolution looks like, and what's happening in Britain is not a revolution. So I mean, we'll just listen to this idiot. As before we go, I'll just listen to this idiot. Um, yeah, let's listen to this.
And decline that is offered, and that is our patriotic.
I didn't mean Keir Starmer. Obviously, he is an idiot, and that's probably what you thought I meant. Because Keir Starmer's now started speaking after saying, let's listen to the idiot. But I meant the Muslim guy here, this that's coming up, this other guy. Although Keir Starmer is an idiot, no, or a wanker. We're still on wanker, I think.
Responsibility and our patriotic duty. And I look.
Here's one of the lovely people that he invited into our country, and he's going to tell you what he thinks of you and what you should be doing.
What has this country come to? When I cannot walk into Morrison's with my wife and my 2-month-old baby and my 1-year-old child without somebody telling me, you do not belong here. Get out my country, you ragheads, you...
I mean, he's saying this right, but look at the guy. And he's not a small lad by the looks of it. He looks like a fairly normal lad that's got something about him, wouldn't take any shit off people for no reason. So he's claiming all this has happened, but in my opinion, this is the kind of guy who would try and knock fuck out of you if you said that to him in a supermarket. I mean, if I said to him, get the fuck out of here, get out of my country, I would expect this guy to beat the fuck right out of me there and then, you know what I mean, for fucking slavering at him for no reason and being racist in a way. So I would expect fuck knocked out of me here. Yeah, guy just claims people are shouting at this randomly in the supermarket and he's just taking it on the chin. Which I don't believe. I don't fucking believe for a single second already. I think you're just fucking making it up for like fucking race baiting or something or trying to stoke tensions. But until you show me the incident of this happening on phone, I don't fucking believe you because there's no way a fucking a Muslim whose fucking religion's about fucking war and you know what I mean. There's no way he's going to take that bullshit off people, so I don't believe it for a fucking second, to be honest. And the guy's thick as fuck.
Sand monkey, you don't belong here. This is our country.
Well, okay, that sounds terrible. Who are you? Anyway, it's a little bit better, don't you think, for you personally, that you're just having some naughty words thrown at you. I mean, it's not like you take your children to a dance class and then some fucking dickhead comes in and stabs them to death.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
A little bit worse, that, isn't it? That doesn't really happen to you guys, does it? It's just you guys doing that to us. Yeah? Yeah? You see how it's kind of a little bit fucked up that you're complaining about some naughty words?
Because that's what they do. That's literally what they do. Complain about words and then stab fuck out of you. Because, well, we all know.
And this is the thing with Muslims, right? You all play the victim, but you don't actually denigrate the psychos in your flock. You are happy to
Yeah, it's bang on this, to be honest. It is bang on. I agree with this. Like, the guy on about, it's like all these Palestine wankers. And fucking Palestine. Well, what about October the 7th? Do you know what I mean? October the 7th is the reason that Palestine's in fucking ruins here. So, unfortunately, that's what happened. So, live with it, because that's what happened.
The rewards of what they do. They'll do psycho shit, and then they'll get more rewards for it. You're happy to take those rewards. You're happy to take the benefits, but you're not happy to call them out when they do something wrong. Where's your video talking about all the terror attacks by Muslims? No? Don't have that one?
You know the ignorance.
Yeah, he's right. Like again, the Muslims, they don't make a big deal about all these Muslims that kill people. They don't. They really don't. In fact, they condone it in many ways. I've seen many of them condone October the 7th. So, and yeah.
It's upsetting. And not just that, it's beyond my understanding. I cannot begin to even comprehend how somebody can be so ignorant. This country, Great Britain, was rebuilt by people who look just like me. and my wife.
No, no, it wasn't. Like, no, no, it wasn't. It wasn't, it fucking wasn't. It just wasn't. Um, Again, it's a load of bollocks. All this migrants built Britain. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, because if you look outside now and you go around Sting, you'll find that it's still all the fucking white men building it today. So, yeah, that's a load of bullshit that my immigrants built Britain. No, you didn't at all. You've helped out a lot bit, you know what I mean? You've helped out a lot bit after the war when a lot of people died, and we got a few years over here, and you fucking helped in the NHS and stuff like that, and la 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 la. You helped out. That's it. You didn't build fuck all. You didn't build shit here. You've helped out. You've helped out. That's the best you can claim here. We'll give you a maybe we helped out. And even then, none of you fuckers helped out in anywhere.
Why is it that nobody can pick
Why do they always say this? It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. I don't know where they're getting this information from. I don't know who's telling them this, but it is like next level retarded. And again, that probably speaks a lot to his IQ. You know, they don't mention that either. Something happens to you when you keep breeding with your cousins, and it's not good.
Yeah, yeah. It's again, you can lose intelligence. You can lose a lot of things. Again, royal families in history that didn't too much interbreeding. I think it was the Habsburgs or the Spanish royal family. They basically inbred themselves to extinction, and the last one on the line was a frail boy who couldn't conceive because they'd mixed the bloodline too many times, and eventually breaks down and dissolves on itself. It's kind of nature's way to stop inbreeding, really, or God's way, if you want to put it that way. So yeah, interbreeding, it does have effects even with your cousins. It's actually, I think it's banned in England at this point. You're not allowed to marry your cousins. Um, yeah, it's not a good thing mixing the genetics. People know this. The Muslims don't. And yeah, it does cause detrimental effects over time, and can result in a reduction of intelligence, interbreeding. So yeah, this is another problem here. You think everyone's of the same sort of intelligence, really, but half of these fuckers are stupid because of interbreeding.
up a book and educate themselves on what this land was built on,
Okay.
who this land was built by? Oh, sorry.
Not you, mate. Not you or any of your people. None of yous built fuck all here. Well, the only thing you've built's probably mosques, and even then, you probably didn't build them. You probably hired some contractor who's probably white, and they probably built it. So yeah, yous lot didn't build anything here. So that's a load of bullshit. So you're not getting any credit for anything of that. Other than mosques, you built mosques and you've ruined areas of this country. That's the truth of it. You've absolutely ruined certain areas of this country.
I will excuse you on that because it's not like us Muslims, Pakistanis, Bengalis, Indians are mentioned anywhere in your history books.
Because you've done fuck all, really. You know what I mean? That'll be why. Because in the scheme of all of history and England, yous motherfuckers done nothing. So you're getting no credit. All you've done is come over in the last fucking 50 years and ruin sections of our country. Birmingham is a shithole. Bolton is a shithole. Blackburn is a shithole. In fact, everywhere that you've taken over is a shithole.
You
For fucking good reason, you numbnuts. You weren't there, you dozy twat. Fuck me.
wouldn't dare to teach your children that the train tracks, that the NHS, that the universities was built by bearded men and covered.
Was it? I thought I seen a lot of nurses in the NHS there, and I don't know about bearded men. It's not a thing I expect to see when I go to the hospital there. Bearded men. In fact, I would be horrified if there was all these fucking people at the hospital. To be honest, I would take my life in my fucking hands going in there. So it's just fucking idiots. That's why I don't play this, because the guy's a fucking idiot, like the rest of his number. Oh, we built Britain. We built Britain. You didn't build fuck all, you dumb cunt. You're like, I fucking idiots. Like, you built fuck all, mate. Again, the best that you've built's mosques. They look fucking hideous, right? They don't fit in with the keeping of the country. They look fucking hideous. All your mosques look like shit. Fuck off back to fucking Saudi Arabia with all them. Yeah, all you've built is mosques, and then again, I don't believe you built them. You'll probably have hired some fucking white contractors to fucking build them as well. That's why they're still standing up. So, yeah, fuck you and your number.
Modest, beautiful women. You wouldn't dare. No, of course not. But I will tell you one thing. 1947, your great country went to South Asia and recruited tens of
1947, right? 1947. It's only fucking like 60, 70 years ago, whatever it is. Like 70 years ago, somewhere around that, 80 years. Yeah, I mean, that's not building a country, mate. I don't know if you know anything about time and history, and England's been here a long time. A lot more than like 60, 70 years. So, you're talking shit. And again, I maintain every area that you people have fucking took over is a shithole.
thousands of men and women, and some of them against their will, and brought them back to Great Britain.
Did we? Did we now? Is that what we did? You fucking idiot.
They rebuilt the NHS by
Fantasyland!
Yeah, I mean, we didn't start the NHS till about that time. Like, that's the other why he's another reason why he's a thick bastard, is because the NHS didn't kind of be wait there. So here we see it. The National Health Service began on the 5th of July, 1948. 1948, the 5th of July. Everybody say that? 77 years, maybe. So, yeah, the National Health Service began on the 5th of July, 1948. So, let's go back to Moron Boy here. Let's have a listen to this.
Did we now? Is that what we did? You fucking idiot.
They rebuilt the NHS by
Fantasyland!
So, apparently, they rebuilt the NHS, even though it was only started in 1948. So, they've done well to rebuild it, because it hadn't been built, really. So, he's wrong there, yet again. He's wrong.
And he's living in a fucking honestly, right? It's bad enough that you've got a shit religion. It's bad enough that you make women dress and make women do things that are pretty fucking abhorrent, let's be honest.
Yeah, but not just that, you fucking moron.
It's not very nice. It's pretty bad that you go around raping our children and stabbing people and shit like this. It's pretty bad that you're completely obnoxious. But what makes it worse is that you think that you're the good guy. It's mental. I can't be arsed with these people. By the way, this is what Brits looked like back then. They were white, because Britain is a white country. You dozy fuck. Because, guys, I mean, I'll be honest, right? People power is pretty strong. It's a pretty powerful thing. When you start to piss people off to the point where they've got no other choice but to violently fuck you up, well, that's not really our fault, because we have...
Well, that's how you have a revolution.
A democratic process that you've been ignoring for a long, long time now. And people are they just don't trust you anymore. And when it gets to a point where they don't trust you and you're still bringing in these fucking retards that think it's their country, well, it really starts to piss us off. Now, don't get...
Yeah, I mean, another video I might make, I don't know if it was also on Dino Bain here, I can't remember who mentioned it now. Politicians being foreigners shouldn't be allowed, absolutely shouldn't be allowed, and whatever happens, we need to get that changed, that politicians should not allow to be foreigners, that it should be an absolute fucking, it's common sense, to be honest, you should not allow to be a politician in this country. If you weren't born in this country, or probably your parents, or even your grandparents, that should be a rule, an absolute rule. Probably even grandparents. I'd go as far as grandparents, to be honest, to make sure that you've been here a while. So, yeah, that there shouldn't be foreigners fucking in politics in our country, and there's a lot of them, a lot of them. So that needs sorted out, to be honest. Whatever, if there is some sort of fucking revolution takes place here, which probably not, because the people are stupid. Um, that's something that massively needs changed, that urgently. That foreigners cannot be politicians in this country. If your grandparents weren't born and your parents weren't born in England, Ireland, or Northern Ireland, or Scotland, or Wales, then you cannot be a politician in this country. That has to be a rule. Well, I'm going to leave it there for Dino. I've pretty much played most of the video anyway, to be honest. Sorry, Dino. But great channel. Go and subscribe. For future videos of the same calibre. You know what I mean? It was a good video, good speech of the young lad there. And Muslim moron, as we heard. But good video, and again, my kind of summary of it all, Louise, is that's what a revolution looks like in Nepal, and what you're witnessing in Britain currently is not a revolution. It's not even anything that will enact a change, because as you've seen for quite a while now, even on a level of 2 years with the Palestine people, the government don't give a fuck. They're all corrupt, lying bastards, and they'll keep going and going and going. Probably like they would have in Nepal there, until the people have had enough and burnt the shit out of the place. And that's kind of how you stop these people doing what they're doing. Again, if you think that voting Nigel Farage in 3 years is going to save you here, then you're stupid and you're fucked. I'll leave it there. Peace.